Hello, good evening and welcome to the special international edition of Scotsport. After 2 games in Group 7 of the European Championship without a win and without a goal, Scotland had a great chance tonight to turn on the style against one of Europe's weakest football nations, the outsiders from Luxembourg. And from Wembley Stadium we'll have the action from the match between England and Yugoslavia. But first then to Hampden, and an important night for Andy Roxburgh. Anything less than a decisive win would be regarded as failure. And for Kenny Dalglish, the opportunity to surpass Dennis Law's Scottish record goals total of 30. From Hampden Park, Jock Brown reports.
A Scotland team clearly geared for attack, with Dalglish and Johnston expected to play through the middle, and Nevin and Cooper on the flanks. And a supporting role in midfield for the one new cap in the side, Brian McClare of Celtic. And Luxembourg are expected to play their most experienced defender, number 4, Hubert Meunier, at sweeper for the first time in his career. So Scotland have the match underway in front of a perhaps better than expected crowd here at hand. It's certainly not packed to capacity by any means at all, but a bit of noise coming from the terracing in support of the Scottish players. And Scotland operating now with Cooper and Nevin. Cooper starting on the left, Nevin was way over on the right flank as expected. And the first free kick of the match goes to Luxembourg. The referee tonight from Iceland, there he is, Mr. Gudmundsson from Iceland, as are the 2 linesmen. So the first free kick of the match to Luxembourg, taken by Hellers. Hellers, the blonde figure, wearing number 6 on the right side of midfield for Luxembourg, one of their only 2 professionals in the side. Here's Davy Cooper for Scotland. Now Dalglish, and a crude tackle that by Hellers. The referee having a word immediately with the big Luxembourg player. Good pass from McClare. Here's Nevin, still Pat Nevin, playing it into space, looking for Dalglish, but Dalglish had checked out of that run. So applause from Dalglish for Nevin. That certainly was encouraging for Scotland. Came off Richard Gough for a Luxembourg throw. Langers leaves it. Barboni is number 7. This is Weiss. Now Schonkert. Langers. Fierce challenge there by McClare to win possession for Stewart. And immediately the Luxembourg players funnel off the Scots to get back inside their own half. Hansen into space for Johnston. Followed across by Depantima. Nevin once again running at Schonkert. Using Stewart as a decoy. Here's Dalglish, trying to make space for the shot, still battling hard. There's the chance for Johnston. And the Scots appeals for a penalty kick disregarded by the Icelandic referee, but Johnston certainly appeared to be taken out of the play as the ball came across. Well, this is good play eventually when Dalglish lost possession the first time to Weiss, battled hard to win it back. Nevin with the instant cross. Johnston came in and was clearly taken out of the play. And Scotland's reward is merely a corner kick. Dalglish takes it. So fierce appeals for a penalty. Waved aside by the referee. Nevin back to Dalglish. Far post ball. Gough is arriving. And it's turned away by Meunier. But the Luxembourg defence certainly not looking at all happy when the ball comes across in the air. And that's too far ahead of Pat Nevin. A fine cross that from Pat Nevin. Got a glimpse of the ball from Dalglish. Curled it across the face of the goal for Johnston. Good leap by Hansen. Yes, Hellers. Stewart showing good control, picking out Nevin quickly with the pass. McClair off with a run up the right wing. Good play from McClair and from Nevin, showing a fine understanding. Careless one by McClair, giving possession to Luxembourg. Langers with a good layoff. This is Schonkert. Good play from defence from Luxembourg. They're coming back to win possession. Nevin helping it into Hansen, and the point of the attack is switched to the left with Davy Cooper. Murdo McLeod sprinting on the overlap. That was intended for Dalglish. Heller's turning inside, but Scotland have McClair in position. Now Stewart. Here's Johnston. Good effort from Johnston. Almost caught the goalkeeper out, but Van Rijswijk did well in the end. So Johnston showing his eagerness to have a shot at goal, taking the ball on the bounce. The goalkeeper Van Rijswijk across very quickly indeed. Rolf's header goes straight to Hellers. Now Hansen. Stewart. Dalglish has made a run again. Still Dalglish. Meunier meets him with the challenge. Now the referee has given something to Scotland. It certainly was inside the box, and the referee decides that's a free kick outside the box. Now that is remarkable. And if there was any infringement there, it was surely a penalty kick. The referee indeed indicating an indirect free kick for obstruction by Meunier. But I would say he was ducking out of the issue by giving the decision outside the box. So Richard Goff has joined the attack once again. McLeod. Back it goes to Hansen. Every Luxembourg player facing the ball now. They're all back. And width there for Ray Stewart. For Cooper rather. Cooper making for the byline. Eased out of that, and he's won the corner kick. It was Schonkert with the challenge. So packed penalty box. Cooper with the in-swinger towards Goff. It's headed out by Hellers. Here's Stewart. Leaves it to Dalglish. Here's Brian McClair. Trying to feed that through to Dalglish. It was well cut off by Barboni. And this is Malget, with Hellers breaking on the right side of midfield. And it's Mo Johnston who's giving chase. That's easily cut off by Murdo McLeod. Now McClair. Sidestepping Shulton. Allows Nevin to come inside. Dalglish. McClair. Nevin has found space. And Meunier with the tackle, but Nevin wins it back. Down goes Nevin, and surely this time, no, the referee ignoring appeals once again for a penalty kick. Well, this perhaps the clearest of the lot. Nevin winning it back from Meunier. The sweeper scrambling up, turned around by Nevin, and surely that was a clear penalty kick. And indeed now it appears as though the penalty kick has been given. Langers is protesting. It appeared initially as though the referee had given a corner kick, but it is a penalty, and it'll be taken by Davy Cooper. And Rijswijk is on his line to face Davy Cooper. So it's Cooper against Van Rijswijk. Cooper looking for his 5th goal for Scotland. Superbly taken. Gave the goalkeeper no chance at all. And Scotland make the breakthrough. 24 minutes on the clock. The lethal left foot of Davy Cooper sending it high into the corner. And Van Rijswijk had no chance at all. Stewart. Dalglish coming short for the ball, but Stewart prefers to look for someone further forward. Mo Johnston fits that goal, but he's taken from the back, and clumsy challenge again by Di Pantima, doing Mo Johnston no good at all. Scotland have the free kick, and Ray Stewart, I fancy, may wait for Johnston to recover. No, playing it into the box now. There goes Aiken. A fine header by Aiken. He got up very well to this ball from Ray Stewart. The attention drawn by Goff, and that's just about a foot over the top. So Johnston is still on the ground over there on the far side as Luxembourg work the ball out of their own box. And some shrugging off Langers. Now Aiken and Stewart. Johnston hurtling on the right wing at the moment, allowing Nevin to come inside. Here's Murdo MacLeod. Dalglish. Had quite the pace for that. Frustration on the face of Kenny Dalglish. Certainly hasn't spared himself in his efforts to find gaps in the Luxembourg defence. Mo Johnston back on the field, still grimacing with that injury he sustained from that tackle by Pentima. McLeod's headed an accurate one to Aiken. Well, there's some slack passing out there from the Scots players. Roy Aiken, the guilty man that time. There's Cooper. Hansen takes over. Now Cooper. Barboni gets back to provide the first line of defence. Dalglish, great pass to Cooper. And that was intended for Johnston on the near post. Perhaps not fully restored to fitness, Mo Johnston. But a superb bit of interplay between Cooper and Dalglish. Look at this return pass into Cooper's path, the near post cross, and Johnston arriving too late. And Malshie winning the high ball, but Goff quite happy to see the ball go through to Leighton. So Hampden is hushed for the moment. Scotland have the lead, and here's Dalglish, challenged by Meunier. But Barboni provides the support to the back four once again. Picked up by Aiken. Powering forward on the right, leaves it now to Nevin Skills. Aiken staying back to try to remain onside. The linesman didn't think he did it, so it's a free kick. Well, Roy Aiken certainly made a determined effort to stay onside. Header from Goff. McClare touching it to McLeod. Now Cooper. McLeod inside to McClare. Scottish passing not always sharp enough. Getting some time in the deep positions, but perhaps not as crisp as Andy Roxburgh would like, I'm sure. Here's Ray Stewart. Nevin again finding space in behind his man. Taking on Shonkat. Cross is there, there's no taker, there's Cooper. Still Cooper. And it's Davy Cooper once again. So 7 minutes from half time. Some good play initially by Nevin. It looked as though the chance was lost here as the ball came over. But some very slack defending, allowing Cooper to win possession. Look at the coolness here now and the close control. Knocking the ball beyond Von Rijswijk, and Cooper makes it 2-0 for Scotland. And the creator again, the second time, was Pat Nevin. So a major boost again coming from the feet of Davy Cooper for Scotland. Goff's header. Barboni didn't control it well enough. Dalglish to Aiken. Through the middle for Johnston, and it's Di Pantima rather reacting quickly enough to turn it back to Van Rijswijk. Being congratulated by Meunier for his quick reaction, Di Pantima. Goes back with Nevin. Now Shulton. Big number 11, O'Shea, there's Langers. Slice to Barboni. Now Bossi. Langers again trying to release the fullback, but Henson's there for Scotland. So 5 minutes of the first half left. Scotland leading by 2 goals to 0, both scored by Davy Cooper. And the third before half time, I think, may keep the Scots supporters happy. There's Kenny Dalglish. Johnston. He will certainly want to get in the scoring act. He's still labouring a bit from that knock he took some time back. Here's Dalglish! And that was the goal Scotland wanted so badly, the one from Dalglish. Well, it's a fine instinctive save. Stewart's cross, Dalglish's powerful header, and Van Rijswijk chooses that to bring off the best save of the match. Here's Murdo McLeod. There's Aiken, wide again to Stewart. There's Davy Cooper now on the right, and he can't make any further progress. There goes the half-time whistle. 2 goals for Scotland, both scored by Davy Cooper, one from the penalty spot in the 24th minute, and the second coming 7 minutes from half-time. But on both occasions, Pat Nevin was the architect. On the first occasion, a magnificent piece of twisting and turning at the byline, inducing the rash tackle from Meunier. The clear penalty kick, thumped home with complete assurance by Davy Cooper. And then the second, the cross, sent across by Nevin after good play again in the flank. Bad defending, and Cooper remaining cool to create the clear shooting chance. And that's what makes the half-time score here at Hampden. Scotland 2, Luxembourg 0.
Okay, here's 2 cans of McEwen's Export.
Now there's a quality beer for you.
And 2 glasses. 1 for you, and 1 for me.
Just look at those shores.
What shores?
Thanks, I'll have a McEwen's Export.
McEwen's Export. It speaks for itself.
And this Mitsubishi went all the way home.
Make space for a Mitsubishi.
Look at Hits 5. With the very latest from Peter Cetera and Cyndi Lauper.
But I see your true colors shining.
Hits 5 with Shakin' Stevens. 32 winning numbers. Play the winning numbers now on Hits 5.
The time has come.
James, you're naked.
It's time to get your money ready if you want to apply for British gas shares.
Say soon, Duncan.
Come on, you didn't want to miss the boat. Listen, if you want to apply, you'll only need to find the first payment.
Huh?
Are you away now?
Duty calls, Duncan.
About that first payment, if you see Sid, will you tell him?
If you apply for the minimum number of British gas shares, the first instalment will be £50. To reserve a prospectus, phone 0272 272 272 anytime.
Wouldn't it be perfect if you could get that rich golden taste in a spreadable form? Well, now you can, in the shape of Krona, we've double blended it to make it spreadable. Simple when you know how. New Kroner Double Blend Margarine. The rich golden taste, but spreadable.
Action for Jobs, opening more doors to more jobs. For people who are out of work and want to do something about it. Get your Action for Jobs booklet now.
Welcome back to Hampden as Luxembourg get the second half underway, and there's no change in either lineup. There was a doubt, I think, about Mo Johnston's ability to come back, and it may be that the Scotland coach, Andy Roxburgh, is going to wait 5 minutes or so to see if Johnston has shaken off that knock he took in the first half. So 2 goals in the first half, which was not by any means a swashbuckling performance from Scotland, but the goals coming from the excellent wing play of Nevin and Cooper, and that must have encouraged not only the Scotland boss but the supporters inside Hampden. Here's Brian McClare taking the ball for a run. Dalglish challenging, led out by Weiss. Schonke with a good quick pass to Langers. And that might be one area where Scotland will be looking to improve in the second half, in the speed of their build-up. Just a little bit sluggish from time to time, coming from midfield to the front men, allowing the Luxembourg defenders a little bit of extra time to mark closely. But the opening formation for Scotland, the same as the first half, with Nevin on the right, Cooper on the left, Johnston and Dalglish through the middle, supported by McClare and Aiken in the middle. Roddy McLeod battling hard for possession. Things didn't quite go his way in the first half. Didn't quite have his normal touch, Roddy McLeod, and battling very hard to force his way back to form. Malget eased off the ball by McLeod, and the referee's given the free kick. And you may recall that Luxembourg had a reasonable start to the first half. They settled down well in the first 20 minutes and manufactured a couple of attacks which caused some concern in the Scottish defence. So it's Weiss again, playing it short to Langers. And that was a powerful effort by Robbie Langers. And the alert figure of Jim Leighton was equal to it. But just look at the power that's behind that shot from Langers. And here's a great chance for Brian McClare. Could this be his first for Scotland? Playing it to the far side, looking for Johnston perhaps, and indeed the Celtic striker was offside. Good running once again from Brian McClare into the gap. And Johnston was on the far post. McClare tried to find him, and the Celtic centre forward was offside. That's for Langers. Taken from him by Nevin. Dalglish. Now Aiken. The strength won in possession again. Now McClare. Breaking the ball, sending it towards Davy Cooper, but Hansen going across to play it into touch, taking no chances. Scotland were a bit thin at the back as Hansen went across. That's better play from Hansen, and McLeod returns it. 24th cap tonight, Alan Hansen for Scotland, after a lengthy absence until the match in Dublin. Now with Pat Nevin. Dalglish has Stewart available on the right. The slanted ball towards Johnston. Just beyond him, here's Davy Cooper. Bossy goes to close him down. Hellers comes across to help, number 6. Oh, good play from Cooper. Back to McLeod. Parried initially by Van Rijswijk. And he reacted very quickly indeed as Nevin closed in. Sheer magic again from Davy Cooper, working his way along the byline, looking up, spotting McLeod in space. The shot coming in, a fumble initially, but before Nevin could cash in, Van Rijswijk recovered. Hansen's header straight to Weiss. Langers is 5 yards offside. Jim Leighton showing plenty of urgency. Scotland still looking for more goals as Luxembourg are content to stay back and close down space and make life difficult for Scotland. Here's Barda McLeod. Johnston, run away by Di Pantima. There's Davy Cooper, still a man in a hurry. A chance, of course, to collect Scotland's first hat-trick, in my recollection, since 1969. And Colin Steen got 4 against Cyprus. The dummy from Dalglish. Here's Brian McClare playing it against Meunier as he tried to find Mo Johnston. But what an incredible dummy this is from Dalglish. Defence taken apart by that dummy from Dalglish. McClare going into the space, and it was blocked by Meunier. Played in by Cooper. There's Goff. There's Goff again, and he drove it straight at the goalkeeper. Van Rijswijk very fortunate indeed to survive. The initial corner kick wasn't cleared well enough. Goff thumped it in with plenty of power straight at the goalkeeper. Push by Malje, picked up by the Icelandic referee. There's Hansen. That's cut off very easily by Barboni. Occasionally Scotland trying to make the killer pass much too early. Trying to thread the ball through the eye of a needle. There's some activity now on the Scotland bench. There will be a substitution, and a very positive one at that. It's Murdo McLeod who's coming off, and Ali McCoist going on. So off goes McLeod, on goes McCoist, and the Scottish attack is bolstered once more. Dalglish again. That's towards McClare. Covering player was Bossy for Luxembourg. There's no question that the arrival of Ali McCoist was welcomed by the Scottish fans. Old firm partnership, which a lot of folk think can succeed for Scotland. McCoist and Johnston. There's Roy Aiken. It's being chased by Johnston. Playing that towards Goff. Shelton turned it out, and Goff was looking for a free kick for handball. He'll have to settle for the throw. Stewart back to Goff. Here's Dalglish. Towards Cooper. Nudged into space. McCoist was sharp and turning, but he couldn't reach it, and Scotland again have the corner kick. Well, Luxembourg's international record, of course, a poor one. They haven't won in 14 years, but they certainly are making victory for the opposition very difficult. There's Johnston! And the Scottish bench erupted as Mo Johnston picked up his 5th goal for Scotland in the 21st minute of the second half. And this, I think, very much from a training ground, is corner kick towards the near post. The 2 central defenders challenging it was Goff who got the vital touch, and there was Johnston in the finishing position. So Mo Johnston gets the goal he wanted so badly to increase his scoring record for Scotland. And 3-0 now the score with a quarter of the match left, and thoughts now about the possibility of Luxembourg weakening in the closing stages as Scotland pile on the pressure. There's Dalglish, and the referee allowing play to go on as Dalglish is tackled from the back at the edge of the box. Well, that's a remarkable piece of refereeing. Dalglish appeared to be fouled in the act of shooting, and play goes on with Luxembourg in possession. And a good tackle from Nevin, giving the ball to Dalglish. Breaks for Johnston, supported by McClare, and not a bad effort from Brian McClare. So another good attack, the Celtic men combining, Johnston to McClare, and the shot over the top. Brian McClare looking for his first international goal. Hansen up with Malgier again. The official attendance tonight, 35,000, and that's certainly a lot more than a lot of folk thought after the last two international matches. We're now hoping to see a big finish from Scotland. Here's McClare, he's hit the post, still with Ray Stewart, a delicate ball across, up goes Nevin, the smallest player in the Scottish team, trying to leap for a header. Well, Brian McClare right out of luck. Cooper coming in to attack the Luxembourg defence. Good running again by McClare. The shot towards the near post. The keeper was beaten, but the post came to his rescue. And now the second substitution will be made. And again, it's a positive one as Alan Hansen is being invited to go off. And that's not a change being relished by the Scottish supporters. Alan Hansen himself doesn't look too pleased either. Andy Roxburgh coming to the touchline. So Paul McStay goes on, Hansen goes off. So midfield player for a defender. Leash takes the free kick towards the head of Ali McCoist. Here's Barboni. Head flick on from Langers, but there's no one there. Malgier was over on the left. So Aiken now has lots of time as Scotland are now committing only Aiken, Stewart, and to some extent only Richard Gough to defence. Gough is getting forward wherever he can to get on the end of any crosses which can be supplied by Nevin and Cooper. Here's Nevin again, going beyond his man into the box. A low cross this time. Stewart trying a higher one, but still not enough height. Dalglish still working tirelessly for Scotland. Some delightful play again coming forward. Nevin with a return pass. Dalglish using his strength and then his skill, and in the end running out of steam. But applause all around the stadium for Kenny Dalglish. So here was Kenny Dalglish sidestepping one man, going past Scholten, coming forward now, taking the pass from Nevin. Now look at the way he uses his physique to hold off Meunier with this challenge. The ball in playing distance, that makes it fair. Down goes the sweeper, and Dalglish then trying a neat piece of skill to go past the covering player who was Barboni, and he didn't quite make it. Back again to Davy Cooper on the right. McStay seeing a lot of the ball since he came on, using his fresh pair of legs to go all the way for Scotland. Still making for the byline, turning it back, and this scramble off the line by Bossy. No luck at all for Ali McCoist, looking for his first goal for Scotland. Here's Richard Gough. Still Scotland going forward. It came off Pat Nevin. An offside flag was up though on the far side against Mo Johnston. So 5 minutes of the match left, and Ali McCoist certainly out of luck as Davy Cooper came inside, played it short, picked up by Paul McStay. Some good driving play by young McStay, getting to the byline, pulling it back from there. McCoist turning for the shot. The goalkeeper was beaten, but the fullback was there. Nevin now attacking Bossy. Heller's providing cover. Nevin's away from the fullback, and down he goes again, and the referee waves play on. Well, this is quite incredible. Perhaps Pat Nevin made too much of it with a bit of a dive after he was fouled, but this looked to be a clear foul. There he goes, past the fullback, driving into the box. There appeared to be no doubt at all that he was fouled. Now it's with Ali McCoist. Ray Stewart has Johnston ahead of him on the right. Now Nevin. Then it goes to Dalglish, now to Johnston, who's onside. A good ball across the face of the goal. Up goes Nevin with a header, and that's a corner kick to Scotland. Well, a good build-up on the right once again from Scotland, but they couldn't find a way through in the end. And indeed, there is no time for the corner kick. The final whistle is gone. It's hardly noticed by the players or the supporters. So Scotland in the end running out, comfortable winners. Johnston getting the second half goal, but he's limping off, having taken a knock in the first half. Davy Cooper was the man who got the 2 goals in the first half, which set Scotland on their way, but the Luxembourg defending frustrating Scotland, certainly not the performance overall that Scotland were hoping for, and Kenny Dalglish fails to get the goal which would have broken Dennis Law's goal scoring record.
Andy, what are your reflections of the match?
Well, obviously I'm happy that we've won the game. We could have had more goals. We're a bit unlucky in front of goal, ball hitting the post and the goalkeeper having some good saves. It's very difficult to play against a side that are sitting in like that and they're simply spoiling. I can assure you that having watched Belgium play them, Belgium had far more space to play in, and I look forward to us playing Luxembourg away from home, where we will also get the space to play.
Was there some extra frustration for you in the sense that when Luxembourg went behind, they still were content to waste time and play in their own half?
Well, it was obvious from the word go what their tactics were about, and we just simply had to work away and break it down. We made a lot of chances. The fact that some of them didn't go in, well, we're a bit disappointed about that. But we've won the game 3-0. Tonight we're top of the league, top of our section. We haven't lost a goal in 3 games. There's only 4 of the players there played in the World Cup. I'm trying to build a new team, and the average age, if you exclude Kenny, the average age is coming down. And so we're doing our best to build a side. It takes time. I mean, we're by no means perfect, anything but. We've got a lot to work on. But hopefully we're beginning to go in the right direction.
We had new players playing tonight in the sense that Brian McClair made his debut and Pat Nevin, Murdo McLeod coming in for very early matches in their career.
Yes.
Were you happy with the young men on the side?
Oh yes, obviously. I mean, Pat showed you particularly in the first half there, he really was causing them problems. Brian did very well throughout the match, and obviously Murdo. I took Murdo off simply because we wanted to throw more into attack. In the case of Alan Hansen, by the way, we got the shout that Alan's ankle was away. He hadn't trained on Monday, his knee was bothering him, and I really took him off just to protect him. He was playing magnificently, but I didn't want him to go ahead and grit the teeth and damage himself.
You looked unhappy to come off.
But that's the kind of guy he is, you know. I mean, he'd got the shout that his ankle was away, and we simply took him off to protect him.
Any critics who suggest that 3-0 against Luxembourg is a disappointing result, what would your reply be to that in a sentence?
Well, obviously, I mean, we've won the match. That's what we set out to do. I mean, there are many examples of games where either our club sides or even at international level where we've found it very hard to win matches. You know, we could rhyme off many of those. Tonight, we've won the game 3-0. It was hard going, but well, all I can say is that we're happy that we've got a 3-0 result.
Thanks very much.
Well, there we are. There's how the league table looks. Incidentally, a marvellous attendance set, I thought. 35,078. Absolutely marvellous. And the significant thing, as Andy Roxburgh says there at the top of the table, is that Scotland, Belgium and Era have all dropped points at home. But Scotland, as you see, have not conceded a goal. Neither of that matter have Bulgaria. And Scotland's next fixtures, February the 18th, Scotland against Era, and April 1, Belgium against Scotland at the Heysel Stadium. And in a friendly game today, Poland 1, the Republic of Ireland 0.